Greetings, Grace Covenant. It is Friday, September 23rd, 2022. If you're joining me today, I'm grateful. Perhaps you're engaging at some later point. This is the first time since my announcement of my departure from Grace Covenant that we have had a time to share in this online reflection devotional format. And I just want to take a moment or two and just reflect on what it means for us to be together, what it has meant for us to be together as community for the last 8 years, what it means to continue to listen for God's call and to discern God's will and to embrace change. And all of those things are coming to play in this time right now as we are together. First of all, we've had an amazing 8+ years together. Coming to Grace Covenant was one of my dreams, and I was thrilled to accept the position 8+ years ago and engage with the choir and the congregation, and it has been a joy to stretch myself along with the choir and the congregation that I have served, and to see you all grow, to feel your support, to know that we have been partners in ministry and in worship. And I'm so grateful for that time we've had. And yes, Ellie is down on the floor growling at a squirrel outside. Do you want to go outside? All right. And there she goes. Amidst all of life changes, some things don't change, and she will always find a squirrel and defend and protect. So, as I was saying, it has been a privilege to serve alongside of you, and it has also been a good time for me in the last couple of months to reflect. A lot of reflection was done last summer on my sabbatical, and then opportunities arose for me this summer, and the voice of God was so clear in discerning a path forward that would be good for me professionally and personally, that I embraced this opportunity, which means we are all now in and at a point of significant change. And change can be difficult. Even good change can be difficult and be presented with challenges. Trying to work and pack, trying to say goodbye and figure out housing logistics, trying to also figure out where and how I continue to care for my parents long distance as they continue to age. Just so many logistics. And you don't realize how quickly when things change that things can get crazy. And I understand, and I've heard from many of you, I know that this time of change is difficult. But again, change is always or can always be difficult. And one of the things I would say, Grace Covenant, first, thank you for your continued support. Many of you have said that you celebrate alongside me while also grieving this change. And I would just say that in these moments, in these days and weeks ahead, as change occurs, that you would do your own discerning, that you would allow God to speak to you in this time of change, that you would reflect and be honest about what you're feeling. Share that with those with whom you are in community. Share that with the Grace Covenant staff. Let them know what you're feeling. Let them know what you need in this time. And just be aware of what's going on and what that brings up for you. Because one of the things that I think we all fall into is being comfortable with the way things are. And the pandemic certainly threw us into an upheaval, and the way things are or were was turned on its head, and we had to learn new ways and stretch our muscles and do new things. And with change like this, we've become comfortable. We know how to worship together. We know what to expect from one another. We know what we're capable of, and there's a level of comfort that's now going to be upset for a while as you re-engage and open yourself up for change. So continue to listen to that. Continue to engage and let this be a time of growth. It is going to be, for me, it already is, And I pray that that's what happens for you as well in this time. And I will continue to pray for you, Grace Covenant, during this time of change. And I would ask you to do the same for me. And I would ask that we be open to God's Spirit. I'm confident that God has called me somewhere and is even now preparing someone who will be called here to serve you, that will continue to take you forward in your worship life, in your ministry, in your music, and in your mission. And I can't believe otherwise, because I think that is the God we serve. And I think moments like this call us to live into the faith we claim. When we're sitting comfortable each week, oftentimes we say we're faithful, we say we trust, and now's the time we actually have to live into that. Open ourselves to trust, continue to be a people of faith. And as we do that, I want to share the first stanza of one hymn that for a few years now has been one of my favorite texts. And I challenge you with this. Let this sink in. Take a few moments to listen to it over and over again. If you have a hymnal, you can read the entire hymn, or next time you're at church. It's hymn 684, and it's entitled, Faith Begins by Letting Go. Grace Covenant, as we learn to let go, as we continue to grow in our faith, let these words strengthen and empower us in our ministries. Faith begins by letting go, giving up what had seemed sure, taking risk and pressing on, though the way feels less secure. Pilgrimage both right and odd, trusting all our life to God. Let us trust God in this process and in this change, and may our faith be ever strengthened. Thank you, Grace Covenant. I love you. Godspeed.